we travel around and we do music ministry and we talk about compassion and we do all sorts of fun things like that. Me personally, I've been doing this for about 6 years, but I don't do this full time. I wish I could, but I'm not at that point yet. I also work at Starbucks every morning, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. I would say I'm up with the birds, but I'm actually up before the birds are even up. It's dark. So there I am serving coffee and just trying to love on people. And then I have my afternoons off for a couple hours, and I teach private music lessons at my house every evening. And then on the weekends, I'm out doing music and ministry and performing and leading worship and all of that fun stuff. So that's a little bit about me. And like I said, right now we're on our Cross Canada tour, so it's been a lot of fun. We've been able to meet a lot of great people, you guys included so far. You're friendly, so thank you. Got lots of hugs when we came in. We love that. But you know what? I just love the image that the Bible gives of Jesus as the good shepherd. You know, and the Bible talks about that, you know, Jesus watches over his sheep and that he knows each of his sheep and he's willing to leave the flock to get that one lost sheep. And I just love that image, especially as Chelsea and I, you know, we're driving from Sault Ste. Marie to Thunder Bay, and every stop people are like, watch out for the moose. And they were telling us, oh, last night 3 moose got hit. And we're like, don't tell us that. You know, so we're driving, both of us on moose patrol. So every little like movement, we're like, no, it's a bird. Okay, we're good. Keep driving. So, but I just love the idea that, you know, God knows exactly where we are and he's watching over us and he never leaves us. And so this song is a song that I wrote called Shepherd. And the chorus is really simple. It just says, Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. You never let go of me. God, you are the perfect light. You lead me in the way that I should go. I know I need to trust your way and learn to watch and listen while I pray. Lord, I trust only you to guide me, to protect me. Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. Never let go of me. Spirit, you are drawing me, opening my eyes to see your plans. And though I often run astray, you guide me back into your perfect ways. Lord, I trust only you to guide me, to protect me. Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. You never let go of me. Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. You never let go of me. God, you see my every dream. You're moving mountains, calming seas. You know my heart, my every need. You're watching me as you paint the skies. You count the stars and speak to my heart. You're all I want. You're everything I need. Lord, I trust only you to guide me, to protect me. Lord, I trust only you. I place my life into your care. Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. You never let go of me. Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. You never let go of me. Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. Never let go of me. Jesus, shepherd of the world, you always know right where I am. You never let go of me. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, my name is Chelsea Amber, and that image of Jesus as a shepherd's God shepherding us is very significant to me right now. Because as Dana mentioned, I'm currently homeless, and I am from Halifax, Nova Scotia, but I am moving to British Columbia right now. So that's kind of the catalyst for this tour. And Dana was crazy enough to be like, yeah, I'll sit in a car with you for hours driving across the country. Thankful for that. Thank you. But in my car, there's this little cue card, and I wrote Joshua 1:9 on it. So I just look at it while I look at the road, but like it's there. It's there while I'm driving to remind me. It's God talking to Joshua, and it says, "Have I not commanded you? Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And so that's been my key verse for this trip. And it's been a real process of learning to trust God, because a year ago, I had totally different plans. And they fell through, and I was so disappointed and discouraged and like, oh, God has forgotten me. And really, he allowed those plans to fall through so that he could guide me somewhere else. And so I'm just learning to trust him with that, and that, whatever I'm facing, when it looks bad and it's like, oh, yeah, this story's over. Actually, God is using that for his purposes. So, so this song is called "It's Not Over Yet." Don't give up, don't shut the door, getting the game up off the floor. Don't you back down, don't be afraid, don't let a wall get in the way. Oh, it's not over yet. It's been a long, long day, been a long, long night. The sand in my shoes, the sun in my eyes. My soul is weak, my lips are dry. I keep holding on, but I can't help asking why, 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 why? Don't give up, don't shut the door, get in the game up on the floor, works out in the end. Don't you back down, don't be afraid, don't let a wall get in the way. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. don't shut the door. Get in the game up off the floor. Works out in the end. Don't you back down, don't be afraid. Don't let a wall get in the way. It's not over yet. He's writing your story, so don't go living like you closed the book. Stop hiding, don't you worry. It's a brand new day. Thank you. I like you guys already. Don't give up, don't shut the door. Get in the game up off the floor. Don't you back down, don't be afraid. Don't let a wall get in the way. It's not over. Don't give up, don't shut the door. Get in the game up off the floor. It works out in the end. Don't you back down, don't be afraid. Don't let a wall get in the way. Oh, it's not over yet. Ooh, it's not over yet. No, no, no.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to get really real with you guys for a second, if that's okay. Yeah. So something that I personally have always struggled with for as long as I can remember is comparing myself to other people. So I can remember even being, a young girl and looking at my friends being like, oh, they're such a fast runner. Like, I can't run as fast as them. Or as I got older, you'd look at other people and say, oh, they're so good at this. They're so smart. They're so talented. They're so pretty. They're so this. They're so that. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but you look at people around you and you always just think everyone else is better at things than you are, and then that starts to make you feel like you're not really good at anything. It's like, what do I have to offer? And God really challenged me in that, and just started getting me to see myself as he sees me. The Bible says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God created each one of us with different sets of gifts and talents and abilities, and we need to see ourselves as God sees us, as the Bible says that God sees us. And not only just seeing ourselves, but seeing other people as God sees them, seeing situations that we're in. Chelsea said, some things happened that didn't really make sense, but just praying that we would see things that we're going through, through God's eyes, because he sees the big picture. So anyways, this song is called What You See. God, you look at me and you see someone so pretty. You look at me and you see someone so smart and kind. Why don't I see it? You look at me and you think I could do anything. You'd give anything for me to see the same. You'd give anything for me to see the same. Why don't I see what you see? Why don't I love what you love? I know you created me, but I don't see what you see. I wanna be what you see. What you see. God, you look at me and you see someone so wonderful. You look at me and you see someone so capable. Why don't I see it? You look at me and you think I could do anything. You'd give anything for me to see the same. You'd give anything for me to see the same. Why don't I see what you see? Why what you love. I know you created me, but I don't see what you see. Wanna be what you see. What you see. Whoa, 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 whoa. You'd give anything for me to see the same. You gave it all when you stood in my place. Need you and know that I can change. Yeah. Why don't I see what you see? Why don't I love what you love? I know you created me, but I don't see what you see. I wanna be what you see. Why don't I see what you see? Why don't I love what you love? I know you created me, but I don't see what you see. I wanna be what you see. What you see. What you see. What you see.
Well, as a musician, I feel like my calling is to be a bridge between people inside the church and people outside of the church. And part of that is that I often get to visit junior highs and high schools in the public school system and talk to students about things like confidence and self-esteem, and letting students know that they have value and purpose and worth. And I love being able to do that. And I think it's neat how that theme is actually related to my name. So as you heard, my name is Chelsea Amber, and Amber is my middle name, but it's also a jewel stone. So how many people are familiar with the amber stone? A few of you. So for those of you who don't really know much about the stone, it's made out of tree resin, which is something that you wouldn't think would develop into anything beautiful or valuable, but over time and under a whole lot of pressure, it becomes something really valuable. And every single piece of amber is totally unique from all the other pieces. And what makes it that way are all the lines and cracks and bubbles. And every once in a while, you'll find this poor little bug that's just frozen in there for all time. And if you want to find a fake piece of amber, you just look for one that's way too perfect. And I can certainly relate with that because I've got my own set of lines and cracks and bubbles and bugs, imperfections and insecurities. And I was in conversation with someone one time where they said, Chelsea, you shouldn't despise those moments when you feel weak or when you struggle, because that's your opportunity to depend completely on God. And I thought, okay, you're right. So it's not the end of the world, that I'm a little rough around the edges sometimes. And yeah, I love that when we're weak, that's our opportunity for God's power to come, and we can see him at work in those areas where we're weak. And so even when we struggle, we still have the opportunity to make a difference and impact the world around us. And so with that in mind, I like to say that we're all diamonds in the rough. And this is a song that I often do when I'm visiting junior highs and high schools. It's called Diamond in the Rough. All city under excavation, like a brand new civilization, a result from a soul vacation. Oh, that's me. Red rose that you pulled from the garden. I'm a heart that you just can't harden. I'm a death row miracle pardon. I'm a diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on out your world. Diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on. I'm a diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on out your world. Diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on. Can't see me 'cause I'm underwater. Can't see that I'm the king's daughter. A lost treasure in the house of a hoarder. Oh, oh, that's me. It's in the wind that you just can't see. Grow a mighty tree from a tiny seed. I'm a prisoner that's just been freed. I'm a diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on out your world. Diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on. I'm a diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on out your world. Diamond in the rough, do you know my worth? 'Cause I'm moving up, moving on. All right, we have arrived at what is known as the bridge of the song. And I actually need a little bit of help with this, so I'm going to talk to the ladies first. So ladies, each one of you is the daughter of the King of Kings. Each one of you is fearfully and wonderfully made, according to Psalm 139. So I'm going to get you to reach deep inside and find that inner diva. And maybe for some of you, it might be that inner Aretha Franklin or that inner Mariah Carey, Taylor Swift, I don't know. Or if secretly you have these really crazy outfits in your closet, the inner Lady Gaga. Won't even judge. It's all good. And the words you're going to sing are, diamond, I'm a diamond, can you see me shine? I'll demonstrate. Diamond, I'm a diamond, can you see me shine? So let's hear you give that a shot. Diamond, ooh, I'm a diamond, can you see me shine? That sounded so good. Let's do it again. Diamond, I'm a diamond, can you see me shine? All right, one last time and I'll go off the mic. Yeah, that sounded really good. All right, so now it's the men. Men, it's your turn. So I'm going to get you to reach deep inside and find that inner soulful black man. And maybe for some of you, if you've got that really low voice, it's that inner Barry White. Or if you like those high notes, maybe it's that inner Michael Jackson or CeeLo Green, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And you know what? We're in Canada, so if you really like Justin Bieber, just go for it. It's all good. And the words you're going to sing are Shimmer in the Moonlight. And it goes like this. Shimmer in the moonlight. Okay, so I'll count you in. You can give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shimmer in the moonlight. All right, let's try it again a little louder. I know you can do it louder than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shimmer in the moonlight. Yeah. Cool. We'll do it one more time. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So now we're going to put the two parts together. So ladies, remember you are divas, and men, you've got soul. Here we go. Diamond, I'm a diamond, can you see me shine? And then the men, shimmer in the moonlight. Diamond, I'm a diamond, can you see last time. Diamond, I'm a diamond. Little surprise here. Can you see me shine? Good job. Those are high notes. Got a love that you're always chasing. I'm a mirror you can see your face in. All the things that you know you're faking. Oh, oh, that's me. A treasure that you're overlooking. It's the hope of a new beginning. I'm a record that you can't stop spinning. Oh, oh, that's me. I'm a diamond in the rough, you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up, moving on out the world. Diamond in the rough, you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up, moving on. I'm a diamond in the rough, you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up, moving on out the world. Diamond in the rough, you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up, moving on. I'm a diamond in the rough, do you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up, moving on out your world. Diamond in the rough, do you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up, moving on. I'm a diamond in the rough, do you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up, moving on out your world. Diamond in the rough, do you know my worth, 'cause I'm moving up and on.
You guys sound really good. I wish I had a little thing for you to sing, but I don't. So we both just have one more song we're going to share with you. In the last couple weeks, as I was getting ready for this tour and packing up and making sure I had everything good to go, all the details, I felt like God was really putting something on my heart just to kind of share this really, really, really simple message everywhere I go. And it's just this: people matter. Okay, let that sink in for a second. People matter. And so practically speaking, in my life, I mentioned I work at Starbucks in the mornings, and as much as it's a fine job, I'd rather not be there. I'd rather not get up at the crack of dawn and be there and serving coffee and this and that. But it doesn't matter what we're doing. It's the people that matter. So the people that I come into contact with every single day that I have the opportunity just to smile and be friendly and all of that good stuff. So I don't know where you find yourself. Maybe you're at a job that you don't really love, or maybe you're involved in something, or you feel like what you're doing doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, people matter. And we have the opportunity to be the hands and feet of Jesus everywhere we go, and we can just speak hope into people's lives, or we can just be a friendly face and give them a hug and all of that good stuff. Because there are so many people in this world that have no hope. They don't know Jesus. They don't really have a reason for living, or don't really see a big purpose to what they're doing. There's about 3 years in my ministry where I was involved with the women's prison in Kitchener, and I would go there once or twice a month and lead worship. And it would always blow me away, because I would start these worship songs, and then I could probably stop and walk away from the piano, and they would just continue to sing and just worship. And they love to worship. And these are women that you would think, they've hit rock bottom. You'd think that they have no hope left. And yet they're still able to turn their eyes on Jesus and know that he sees the big picture and he still has a plan for them. And so this is a song that I would share while I was at the women's prison. And the verses are just kind of the reality for some of us. Sometimes life is just hard and it's dark and we don't really understand. But at the end of the day, we can still look to God and just say, but God, you are beautiful. You are everything that we want, even when life doesn't make sense sometimes. Evaporating, feeling transparent to the world, existing somehow. You're blinding myself to all that cures, and I can't imagine how beauty shines in distance I'm left behind. I can't imagine how we'll make it forever. But my God, you're beautiful. You're everything, everything I ever wanted more. And you say we're beautiful. You're everything, everything I ever wanted more. Oh, you're everything, everything I ever wanted more. Oh, slowly fading Somehow, is all this pain content to stay? I can't imagine how beauty shines in distance I'm left behind. I can't imagine how we'll make it forever. But my God, you're beautiful. You're everything, everything I ever wanted more. You say we're beautiful. You're everything, everything I ever wanted more. Oh, you're everything, everything I ever wanted more. Oh, you're everything, everything I ever wanted more. Oh.
I love that song. Yeah, I think it's cool how we get to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and as Christ followers, we are carriers of hope, and we carry that hope both for ourselves in our own situations, and then we also have the opportunity to be able to share that with others. And I know that that has been something that has carried me through the storms of life, just knowing that I have hope and that no matter what I'm facing, I know that God is never.
When all I feel is heartache, you're worthy of my praise. When all my strength is fading, you're worthy of my praise. When my night is never ending and my deepest fears are looming, you're worthy of my praise, my praise. When the floods of doubt are rising, I know that I can trust you. When the dark waves are crashing, I know that I can trust you. When the darkest clouds surround me, though I cannot see you, I'll always choose to trust you. I'll always trust you. No matter what I face, no matter how the storms rage, I know, you'll never let me go. Your peace will hold my soul. You'll never let me go. When my feet are worn and weary, I'll follow where you lead me. When the narrow path is winding, I'll follow where you lead me. When the wind is fierce against me and the rain blurs what I'm seeing, I'll follow where you lead me. I'll follow where you
to sing along if you know this next little part.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul.
Well, I had some carriers of hope in my life that have really left a legacy. I gave my life to the Lord when I was 7 years old, and I'm very thankful for the Sunday school teachers and my mom who were carriers of hope. And I'll tell you a little bit about what happened that day. I don't really know what happened. Somehow I won a contest, and I got to be queen of the Sunday school for that day. No idea how I did it to this day. So they put this purple cape on me and this tinfoil crown, and I sat at the front. And that day, the lesson was about heaven. All the children to close their eyes and raise their hands if they didn't know whether or not they were going to heaven. I wasn't sure, but here's the thing, is queens don't raise their hands to ask questions. So I didn't raise my hand that day, but I asked my mom about it later in the car on the way home from church. So she pulled over to the side of the road and explained to me about how God loved me so much that he sent his son Jesus to die on the cross in my place for all my sins so that I could live and be in God's presence both now and for eternity. And I'm very thankful for the people who have left a legacy in my life by telling me about Jesus. And as I said earlier, that has brought me through thick and thin, the mountains and the valleys of life. And I sing a lot about those things, but I didn't want to be someone who got up on stage and sang about hope and talked about it, but didn't actually do anything to put hands and feet to it. I wanted to be a carrier of hope that actually does something with what she's carrying, and I want to be able to leave my own legacy the way people have left a legacy in my life. So I started praying and asking God, what can I do? I've just got a guitar, and how can I make a difference? And around that time, I found out about an amazing Christian child development organization called Compassion Canada. So how many people here have heard of Compassion already? Oh, a ton of you. Awesome. Well, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, as I said, it's a Christian child development organization, and they are working around the world to be the hands and feet of Jesus and release children from poverty in Jesus' name. I started finding out more about Compassion, and there were two things that really struck me right from the beginning. The first was the dedication to integrity. So everything from the way they handle the finances to the administrative processes, everything is done with transparency and biblically. And I thought, okay, this is something that I can get behind. And the second thing was the dedication to the gospel. Compassion is a Christ-centered organization, and that means that every single child who gets sponsored has the same moment that I had, where my mom pulled over to the side of the road and explained what Jesus did for me. Every single child gets that same moment. And as a result, we're actually seeing around 400 to 500 people a day giving their lives to Christ around the world through Compassion. Yeah. So I thought, okay, this is awesome. I need to get involved. And so right now I sponsor a little girl named Angelica. She's from the Dominican, and she's really cute. We write back and forth, and I'm able to build into her and be a hope carrier for her and leave a legacy in her life and send her Bible verses and tell her that, I care about her and I'm praying for her. And in her last letter, she said, I want to learn to play the guitar. So she's a woman after my own heart. And I love the difference that I'm able to make through music and sharing about compassion, and then also doing it myself by sponsoring. And right before I started sponsoring Angelica, I actually got to go to the Dominican myself and see lives and families and communities that have been turned right side up through child sponsorship and through a relationship with Christ. And one guy that I met, his name was Tony. And when he was little, he was shining shoes in the streets because he felt guilty that his parents couldn't afford to feed him. Then he heard about this compassion program that was going on, and he got signed up. He started going to church and got a sponsor. He started hearing about the love of Christ and that he was made for a purpose. And as a result, he started going to school and then eventually went to college, and now he's the head of discipleship for the Dominican, and he is leading others to Christ. It was amazing to hear his story. And one thing that struck me was he said poverty isn't just physical, it's also mental. And he grew up believing that he was worthless and that there was no hope. There was nothing that he could do to change his situation. He had no purpose. And then he met Christ and found out that the God of the universe knows him, loves him, created him for a purpose. And through him, through God, is able to make a difference in his own community. And it just changed his life completely. So we're going to show a little video now of another woman named Jennifer whose life was changed.
I am Jennifer Gitiri and I'm from Kenya. Growing up with a single parent in the slum was very, very difficult for me. Really living hand to mouth, because if my mom went to look for employment or even wash other people's clothes, if she came in the evening with $1, that's what we would use to buy a meal and eat at that particular time. If we wake up tomorrow, there's nothing to eat, then we'd take a glass of water and run to school. But Compassion opened a project at a church near our home. And for the first time as a young girl, I saw hope. Compassion provided for everything. They gave me books. When I was sick, Compassion would pay for my medical care. And I'm also thankful to my sponsor, who was very, very encouraging. Just writing letters of encouragement, telling me that you can make it, you can do it. Your past should not determine your future. I believe my sponsors were God-sent.
When we wrote to Jennifer, it was important to let her know that we really cared about her. I just said what a mother would say. We're so proud of you. We're so proud that your grade card is good and that you've done such a good job.
I remember vividly, our neighbor's child was raped. The child was 10 years. And these were the kind of things that I saw growing up that really made me decide to be a lawyer, someone who could speak for the rights of those who cannot speak for themselves. The beginning of this year, I joined the Kenya School of Law so that now I can be admitted into the bar and become an advocate in the High Court of Kenya. This summer, I went to the United States of America to be an advocate. I shared passionately about my story and how my sponsors had made a difference in my life, and they were brought on stage.
Here they are.
It was life-changing just to see those two people who'd sacrificed their resources, who used to pray for me, who used to encourage me. So for me to see these two people was just amazing.
Compassion gave us the opportunity to reach halfway around the world to rescue one little girl from whatever the future might have had in store for her.
It makes me cry all the time when I think of how far God has brought me, from the ditches of poverty to this.
Today I am here as proof
that indeed compassion releases children from poverty in Jesus' name. My children will never live in poverty. My children will know the word of God. And when I look at the packets at the compassion booth, my heart is broken because 17 years ago, my face was in that packet.
I don't know if you caught that, but at the end there she said, my children will never live in poverty, and my children will know the love of God. And I just love that we're able to break the chain of poverty in these children's lives. And that's not just physical poverty, but that's mental and emotional and spiritual poverty as well. One of the things that I love about compassion is that it works through the church. So I just want you to imagine for a moment this church right here. Every single day you're opening your doors up and you're letting hundreds of these wild and crazy kids in, and you're loving on them, and you're giving them a good meal every day. You're giving them a school uniform and sending them off to school. And after school, you're giving them extra tutoring, and you're telling them about Jesus, and you're just kind of building into these children's lives. And I just think that it's so cool because God has one plan to save the earth, and it's through his church. Another thing that I love about compassion is that it works through relationships. So we're connecting people from one side of the world, and connecting hands with them with a child that's living on the other side of the world. And we have the opportunity to write letters to them, even meet them in person. My husband and I, we have 3 sponsor children, and one of them I've had the opportunity to meet twice. Her name is Kiara, and she lives in the Dominican. And the first time I met her, I couldn't believe the conditions that she lived in, and she lived with her mom and her brother, and they were all very, very quiet. And, they're showing me around their home, but, you could tell they're a little bit like embarrassed almost, like this is it. This is all we have. She was very quiet the whole time. But then there was 3 years before I visited her again, and we wrote letters back and forth, and I would send pictures to her, and again, just encourage her and love on her. And 3 years later, I went back and visited her, and because of my sponsorship, they were able to actually move houses, and they're still in need, but their house was in a safe area. It was clean. They had everything they need at the moment. And when I walked up, her mom just gave me the biggest hug and just said thank you, and I was able to spend, a whole day with Kiara. And she was still quite shy at the beginning, but we were at the school playing, and we were holding hands. We were playing Red Rover or something, and all of a sudden I feel her. She's pulling a bracelet off of her wrist and hooking it onto my wrist, and I'm thinking, no, keep your bracelet, like this is yours. But I looked down, and it was a little pink rubber bracelet, and it just said love, 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 and I just knew in that moment, like she just loved me. And another time, so it was a few minutes later, all of a sudden she's gone. Where did she go? And it turns out she asked one of her leaders if she could go use the washroom, but she didn't do that. She snuck out of the school and up the road, and she bought a little bag of chips. And she came back, and she pulled me aside, and we sat on a log together, and we're eating these chips. And again, I'm thinking, these are your chips. Like, you eat them. You spent your money on this. But she wanted to share that with me. She wanted to share what she had with me. And it just absolutely made me think, for them, it's not about the $41 a month that we're giving to them, but it's about this relationship and the difference that we're making in their lives. And so it truly is a wonderful organization, and it's just a practical way that we can be the hands and feet of Jesus, and we can, bring hope and turn these lives around, all in the name of Jesus. And I know there's opportunity to do that right here in Morris, definitely, and in your own families, but this is a way that we can do this across the world. And so this morning, we have the opportunity for you to raise your hand and say, yes, I'll do it. I'll step up. There are little information cards scattered throughout if you want to take a look at those. But at the back table, we have a bunch of these packets here, and this represents this child's life. And so right here, I have little Pedro from Colombia. He's 4 years old. He's very cute. He's standing with this huge grin, a little yellow t-shirt. Pedro lives with his father and his mother. At home, duties include running errands and cleaning. His father is employed, and his mother maintains the home. Pedro is not presently attending school. Soccer, running, and playing group games are his favorite activities. He also attends church activities regularly. And so this morning, if you're wanting to get involved, it is so easy. The hardest part is picking a child, because I know you want to sponsor all of them. But you're just going to pick a child. And you're going to fill out the details front and back, and we'll help you do that. You just need a credit card or a void check or cash today, and then we will mail it in. We'll do all the hard work for you. You're just going to go home with a child pack, and you're going to be well on your way to writing letters and building into the lives of one of these children. If you do decide to sponsor today, Chelsea and I would love to give you one of our CDs just as a small thank you for making the decision that you're going to sacrifice to build into the lives of one of these children. And so we're just going to pray, and then we're going to sing one more song, and then we are going to be done. So I just want to say thank you again for allowing us to come here and to share with you a little bit, share a bit of our hearts, and to give you a glimpse into our lives a little bit. So God, we just thank you so much for this opportunity that we can worship you, that we can learn about you, that we can maybe see you in a new and fresh way. And I just thank you for every single one of these wonderful people. I pray for this church, God. I pray that you would continue to bless it and that you would increase it, God. I pray for the leadership of this church, that you would just give them extra renewal and extra energy and extra drive and determination every single day, God, and give them vision for where you want this church to go. And we just thank you that you are a good God and that you know every single one of us. You know where we are, God, and we thank you that you are our hope and that we can look to you in any situation, no matter what we're going through. If it doesn't make sense, if it's not so nice at the time, we can keep our eyes fixed on you and just know that you see the big picture and you have the big plan for our lives. And we just love you so much, God. We thank you that you are a good Father. I just pray that you would be bringing people into our minds even now, maybe that we work with, or people in our families, that we can bring a little bit of hope to today, God. Maybe that's just sending a quick text message or popping over after church and just saying, you know, I was thinking about you and how are you doing, God? I pray that you would give us the boldness to do that this morning, that we can be your hands and your feet and your voice of hope. I pray that you would also give us the courage this morning to sponsor a child in your name, God. We just love you. Let's sing together. He is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. And oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us, how he loves us so. Sing, yeah, he loves us. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yeah, he loves. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. And we are his portion, and he is our prize, drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. So heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way that he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yes, he loves. Sing it out. He loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Sing how he loves me. Yeah, he loves me. Oh, how
Yeah, he